Hi, I'm Aliya, occupational therapist. Let's discuss motor skill development.
From 0 to 5. It starts at home. She say home. She say home.
One thing to note is that if your child is a neurodivergent child, meaning their brains may work a bit differently, they may not hit all of the milestones that you might find in a book, or they may hit them at different times. So what you want to look at is how your own child is developing from birth to 5 and keep track of their progress. In terms of the bigger muscles, take note of how your child is moving. Are they able to keep their heads up? Are they able to sit for themselves? And when are they able to do these things? Can they pull themselves up? If they are scooting along the floor, do you see the arms and legs moving in a coordinated way? Or do you see any differences with how their movements are looking? Are they able to roll from one side to the other side, from their backs to their tummies, from their tummies to their backs? Do you notice any differences in their strength? Are they, particularly floppy, where it kind of seems like if you tilt their head back, they're taking a bit long to come forward? So start to look at all of those different skills in terms of their overall strength and movements to see if there's anything that looks different to you, and then you can bring it to your doctor, your health center, as something that you can look at as you go forward. The hand skills coordinate with the eating and feeding skills quite a lot. So sometimes you might find that the age where your child is able to hold things and grasp things, that's around the same time that they would generally now start to eat mushy foods or start to go on to solid foods. So around that 5 to 7 month kind of time, when they're now starting to hold their bottle, hold a spoon, bring things to their mouth, that's when that coincides with starting to try new foods for the first time. So check and see if your child has any interest in doing those things, if they're bringing their hands to their mouth, if they're putting things in their mouth. Those are things that might give an indicator of if they're ready to eat and eat solid foods, but also how they are with the hand development. You can also see if the same things with the body, if they are holding things tightly, if they may be holding things a bit weaker, if the grasp might be kind of, maybe they're able to hold big things but not smaller things. Walking is another milestone, of course, that you may want to look for. Children walk at different times, but look and see if your child is taking steps towards walking, if they're pulling themselves up, if they're scooting along the furniture, if they're able to stand and pull their balance on their own. When they start to walk, you can see the quality of the movements when they're walking. If they have been walking for a while, you can start to see if they can navigate around their environment. Are they able to step over something that's on the floor? Are they able to move around the table or chair? This can help you know if your child has some coordination, how they're able to maneuver around their environment, and also how they are with being able to put their bodies in different positions, to be able to sit, to play with their friends, and to do things like manage a school environment. Occupational therapists work with functional skills. So we want to look at how your child is able to do the things that they need to do in their daily lives. If you see any differences with how they're putting on their clothes, maybe you might have some muscle weakness, maybe the steps to follow to put on the clothes, they may not follow it in sequence or may not understand the sequence. Those are some indicators to get an OT assessment done. If you see any sensory differences, if you go to put the clothes on and your child is really bothered by the tags, or they don't like certain textures of clothes on them, if they don't like shoes on their feet, or they don't like their feet to touch the water, those might be some things that might indicate we may need to see if this can impact their overall functioning. Similarly, if your child is playing differently with toys and you find that maybe they may not play with their brother and sister, or when they go to play with their brother and sister, they may not yet know how to share, or they may have some tantrums or even some meltdowns when they are socializing with others. This may be a reason as well for an occupational therapy assessment.
I feel like I'm going off my mind. My mommy tell me it will take time. I have no money for therapy.